other than just big government itself by invoking a clash between Islam and Christianity, which this guy's manifesto is calling for. That will undoubtedly trigger some real copycats to engage in their own attacks, so the government won't have to even manufacture them in some cases. This will also probably stimulate Muslims, or it's an attempt to stimulate Muslims in Europe to strike back, to invoke that clash of civilizations that the neocons and the Council on Foreign Relations talk about. And then the social engineers, the globalists, can sit back and play the two groups off against each other while taking everyone's rights in the name of refereeing the clash of the crusade and the jihad that is going on. So clearly that's the overall motive. Restrict guns in Norway, restrict guns in other areas of Europe, England, the United States. The calls are being made. Track conservatives, rebrand mainline political nationalism as connected to terrorism. But specifically with Israel, staging an attack against Norway because they're pro-Palestinian, that would actually then, when it comes out this guy was a big Israel supporter and very scared of Muslims, that in a way would actually discredit and demonize the pro-Israel people. So it's very sophisticated, but Tarpley says that doesn't matter, and I tend to agree with him. At an Operation Gladio level, it's a message to governments. I mean, the Prime Minister and the former Prime Minister almost got killed at the island. This is a major message to them. Hey, you better do what we're telling you or you're dead. But again, who would want to send that message? Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, sir. There's a lot of things, I think, from here domestically, talking against that point. First of all, Stoltenberg, the Prime Minister now, he is, I guess, he has some Jewish ancestors. His name is Stoltenberg from I guess a predominant Jewish family from Poland a long time ago. His sister, also Stoltenberg, works for the People's Health, Folkehelseinstituttet, started by the Rockefeller Foundation.
He knows he's at Bilderberg. So you're saying the coalition parliament was about to be removed from power in the next election, polls showed. So you're saying it points towards, well, he is a Bilderberg group member, them staging this against themselves to discredit the rise of nationalists in Norway.
Yeah, I would guess. I mean, he works so closely with the Bill and Melinda Gates Fund, taking trips, pictures with them, subsidizing vaccines in Africa. I mean, it all seems so closely integrated.
So you disagree with Tarpley then that this was aimed as a threat towards the government?
Well, maybe the government in general, but not let's say the Norwegian establishment. So, I mean, also with Gro Harlem Brundtland, the former World Health Organization General Secretary. I mean, she just left the island. It all, it seems too much of a setup.
Exactly. Well, there's no doubt that they're attacking and demonizing nationalists, conservatives, folks that don't want wide open borders, welfare states. I mean, that's definitely going on. They're definitely using it. It's got all the signs of a staged event. What do you make of his Facebook being altered and the Masonic stuff being removed and the gay stuff being removed and being added Christian conservative when even his friends are saying he wasn't really a Christian conservative? What do you make of the fact that there's not a bigger hubbub over the fact that his Facebook was altered to frame conservatives and Christians?
The first I heard of this was, I have so much respect for Mr. Paul Joseph Watson and his article. And the first time I saw it was in his article. I thought I had just removed it. But they're throwing labels, they're just sending disinformation, just confusion about where he stands, where he comes from. So as you said, they're building a character, they're making this, fictional demon. It seems like obviously he's distorted, but there's something more, and they're making what that is.
Well, it's just like 9/11. The fact that you had not one but two passports going out of their clothes, out of the fireballs, out of the building, down to the ground, and then found undamaged later in the day and given to the FBI. I mean, if you'll buy that, folks, you'll buy that one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eaters are real, or that, you know, Keebler elves are real. It is completely asinine. And evidence of the frame-up is evidence that it's an inside job. And the fact that his Facebook and a bunch of other stuff was doctored right after he was arrested, that the cops knew his name before the arrest and yelled it out at him. You add all this together, my friend, this is very, very suspicious. And the fact that they, you know, the cherry on top, the coup de grace, what do they call it in French? You know, the last straw is that they won't let him be seen on camera and speak for himself, and they read statements. Now you're Norwegian, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have incredible rights over there, truly a democratic society at many levels, and that prisoners have incredible rights, and that they never bar prisoners from speaking at their arraignment. Is that correct?
No, it's not entirely correct, because there's a paragraph that if the investigation would be compromised, then they can isolate them or bar the press or people from coming into the jail hearing. They can also, I guess, he's isolated for 4 weeks without letters and visits, and they can well. You have, as a sort of how to get rid of people, I gather in America, assassinations is the preferred way of getting rid of unwanted elements. But in Norway, we have, and the author I talked about yesterday has written extensively about this, we have a very efficient system to take them into mental hospitals, and they disappear. And it won't be long, I think.
So you're saying it's more of the Soviet model, and he'll probably now disappear off into a mental institution, and that way we never find out who really did this. Well, we're going to check back in with you in the days to come. We're also going to open the phones up in the days to come for Norwegians. In fact, I should do that today after we go through these calls to be able to get on air with us and also give us their perspective and their view. But not letting him speak, keeping him sequestered, very, very suspicious, and only adds to the quandary. I want to thank you, Robert, for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. Now, look, I know we've got Tommy, Dean, Brenda, Tanner, Aaron, and others, and I want to take a bunch of calls today. I also got Dr. Steve Pieczenik coming up, and you know he'll want to roll with info, but I'm going to be jamming your calls in quickly as soon as he gets on with us. I'm going to get his take on this and then take your calls and get his comments. And then we got Dr. Tarpley joining us the last 30 minutes today. Tarpley brings up one of the most important issues that I'd forgotten about over a year ago, and then more came out over the weekend, that the CIA was infiltrating Norwegian police and that NATO was doing it. And that now we learn recruiting retired police to, quote, counter the terror because the government wouldn't. And then you're the counterterrorism forces in Spain, in England, the Russians, the Nazis. It's always the anti-terror forces that are the masters of staging false flags for political gain. So you've got a major attack on Norwegian sovereignty, and that is at the heart of this. Switzerland and Norway both have had now suspicious shootings at government buildings. They had a lot of one of their state governments killed a few years ago in Switzerland, right as a vote was coming up to restrict guns. But the Swiss voted it down. The Swiss and the Norwegians are under globalist attack. Now, I'm not saying the Norwegians are not New World Order central. They are, but they're one of those zones that isn't completely under its control, though their leadership is pro-New World Order. The globalists like to have their own select backwaters to operate out of. I've got Ron Paul news, economic news, police state news, human-animal hybrid news that's in BBC, AP, Australian news. Yes, they got part human, part animal clones. Folks, we're not in Kansas anymore. Every time I talk about this stuff, I get emails saying I'm lying. I read about human-animal clones in the BBC 15 years ago. There are giant laboratories everywhere doing whatever they want. The dehumanization is off the charts. You're eating GMO food designed to sterilize you. Now, I want to briefly get into financial news before we get into it more after Dr. Pieczenik leaves us. Gold hits new high as debt talks stall. We've got the dollar plunging right now. And why? Because they have announced they're going ahead with QE3. That means further global currency devaluations. So oil, food, all commodities, pork bellies, corn, grain, gold, silver, it's all going to go up. People on fixed... I got articles where they're ordering major police departments around the country and fire departments to give half their pensions to the government. Now, it's already started in Europe. The feds changed the laws 5 years ago to do this. How many times you heard me say this? They're now saying, give us half your pension. That's at AP today. This is being announced all over the country. Give us half your pension or you'll get nothing. And then you're going to give them half, and then 5 years later, they'll take the other half, and you'll end up being played like a sucker. It's like, give me half your cake or I'll throw it off the table. You give them half the cake. Give me the other half or I'll throw it off the table. And then when it gets down to the last crumb, they throw it off the table and laugh at you. How do you protect yourself? Gold and silver. Who's got the best deals? Ted Anderson. He has the best deals. He bought it when it was low a few months ago. He's almost out of the gold and silver he bought when it was lower. And it's going to go up. Ted Anderson, quickly, give folks today's gold and silver offer. I don't even need to get into the economy. I told them it's happening. They're coming after your pension funds. People are insane if they stay in these pension funds, in my opinion. I have zero in the stock market. I'm in cash, gold, and silver. That's it. Cash, gold, and silver, and a tiny bit of real estate. So I can cash it in and keep running the operation if I need to. Ted Anderson, tell us about today's offer.
Well, right now, the best deal that I have is the American Dream video and Mark Dice's book. It's $80 plus $5 shipping and handling, $85 delivered. That's $2 silver, the video and the book. People need to be getting involved, Alex. I mean, for goodness sakes, the way that Bloomberg is reporting it, no matter what happens, whether if they reach this debt limit and they increase it or they default on it, gold and silver is going to rise. It's a win-win either way. Right now, British sovereigns are currently at $444. Francs are at $354. Gold hit a high today of $16.21 in the physical delivery market, $16.24.30 in the futures market. Silver right now, $40.93. I mean, it is just smoking right now.
Yeah, for those that don't know, you notice a couple of weeks ago it was $75 for $2 silver, a free book, a free video, and free shipping. Then it was $80. Now it's $85 because Ted was buying as the market was down, but then as it went up, we're now getting into gold and silver he bought as it started going up a few months ago. Soon these deals will be gone, but he's buying now, so we'll have a special for you when gold and silver go up even more. It'll be at today's prices. Get in a time machine. Go back, get silver, get gold. It's a whole list of radio specials. Get in the time machine, get the good deals today, and get the free books and videos. You can't beat that deal. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. Or you can just let them destroy the stock market and take your pension funds. We'll be right back.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.